Happy New Year, Scorpio, and welcome to your January 2026 reading. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's great to see everybody. Before we begin, just a quick note that this can be used for sun, rising, and moon signs. And we're going to include a 2026 year at a glance portion where we pull 4 extra cards for the 4 parts of this new year. So I do hope you stick around for that. I'd also like to check in on Apollo, who is looking adorable in the background. Hey, buddy. Who's a good boy? All right. Now that we've wished our hellos to him, let's get started. In channeled messages today, I think this is actually really appropriate for the new year, but I was shown visions of like nostalgia. And also there was this sort of energy of firsts and like a first love or a first day at work or first day at school. The exhilaration, the newness of all of that. And for some of you, maybe wishing that you could experience something for the first time again. And then the other thing that I saw was memories of moments, like ephemeral moments that came and went, where it's like, I wish I could live in that space again. What Spirit showed me was that as beautiful as that one moment was, or that one experience was, or as exhilarating as it might have been, there are many more firsts yet to come. And it basically conveyed that there's no going back, no looking backwards. You can't repeat the past. You shouldn't want to have to repeat the past anyway. This is about creating new moments, new memories, and embracing on something that you haven't done before. It's not about rinsing and repeating this time. So the other thing here is kind of like more of a question, and it's something that you can meditate on and think about, which is basically what's on your bucket list? What do you really want to create, experience, and manifest in this first month of this brand new year? Hopefully something beautiful and amazing. As we take a look at the cards, I'm going to take a look at where some of these new beginnings, these openings might exist, and if there's any unfinished business, because to me it felt like there might be an opportunity to express gratitude. Maybe for one of those beautiful memories. Thank you for being there. Thank you for that invitation. Thanks for that experience. It's never too late, even if the person's no longer on this planet, you can still convey thanks to them in spirit. But if they are on the planet and still alive, then it might be a good time to pick up the phone and just say, I was thinking about you, or I love you, or thank you. Okay? With that being said, let's give the cards a shuffle and see what January has in store. All right, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine that the sun is shining directly overhead. See a circle of light around your body, and within this circle, let's welcome in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. All right, let's get started with your catalyst. The card came through reversed. The caption reads, Home in the Sky. We see birdhouses with these beautiful balloons that are kind of carrying them anywhere. It's a little bit confusing when you look at it, but if you read the book, the takeaway on this is home is where the heart is. And this is going to help you if you're moving, traveling, or changing up your environment, because sometimes you can't control it. You have to like renovate the house because something broke down or whatever. So if you're resistant to change, or if you feel like I'm afraid to move because this is my home, this card is saying you can feel at home and be at home almost anywhere, provided that you feel safe, you like the people around you, and that you kind of make peace with the fact that, this could work. You have to be open to it. And if you can do that, there might be a moving opportunity coming through for some of you. This is especially true because your centermost card is the Six of Swords. So here we see a ship and here we see air balloons. It's the same thing. So you might be moving in, moving up, or moving out. And this is saying you will be all right. You'll be able to land on your feet if you kind of entertain the thought that home isn't a physical space. It isn't a zip code. It's here. It's here. Okay? And that is a beautiful segue into this card, the Six of Swords. So the first thematic energy that's coming through for this month is movement. And the guides came through and said, there's no looking back. You can't repeat the past. This is about embarking on something new, celebrating the past for sure, but making new memories, creating new experiences, and exploring. Are you ready to explore, Scorpio? Because it feels like that could be one of the great ways for you to connect to something magical. Six of Swords is one of around 4 or so cards that are relate to death or reinvention or rebirth. This is about moving on. This is the point in the journey of releasing something where you say, okay, why not? Let's get out there. Let's try again. And at the very least this month, if you could just entertain the thought that maybe this is going to be okay. Let me try something different, something new. You'll be all right. So Scorpio, put yourself out there this month. Keep me posted. This could be like read literally. You might be traveling. You could be relocating. Or you could just be exploring to see if there's something new or something different that you haven't yet experienced that you're now ready to do, now ready to take on. All right? So let's go to the next card and continue to look at themes of movement because that is a powerful element to this new month and also something that I think is going to help you break through any of the sort of stagnation or cobwebs from the previous year. All right, before we move on to the next portion, let's give Apollo a little pat on the head. Hey, buddy. Yes, thank you so much. All right, let's get back to it. Right here in the center, we have the Two of Wands crossing that Six of Swords. And to me, this is quite auspicious because it's showing that if you make time to dream, plan, and wonder what's possible, the universe answers pretty quickly with the Six of Swords. I should have it in this order. So the Two of Wands is putting it out there and saying, what about this? What if? And the universe is saying, absolutely, what if? Let's try this. Make time in January to put things into writing. Make time in January to research and articulate and talk about your hopes, your fears, your questions. Get it out. Get it out of your head and get it into the world. There's usually a globe that this person is holding in one of their hands. And one thing that you could also do in this period of time is to check progress, keeping yourself accountable. If you work better with someone else doing that, like in a coaching position, like having someone with possibly your physical fitness, or maybe a mentor or an advisor in your general life, then get that advisor, get that mentor, get that coach. That way you can continue to make progress. And sometimes it helps to have someone just to kind of nudge you and say, come on, you can do it. Or why haven't you done it yet? Okay. So make plans, stick to them. And if you need help, go ahead and ask and get that advocate. As we look into the deep past, Scorpio, this is one of the best cards you can get. We have the Star coming through. The key thing with this is it shows that you have done the work on a soul level to thrive right now. And I love that we see the Six of Swords kind of shining through right there at the base of the Star card. It's just a matter of follow through. This represents an understanding of what you want, even if it's not in front of you, even if you haven't taken steps to accomplish it. There is an inner knowing. I want this, I don't want that. Once you lean into that, magical things can start to happen. This card is also connected with really stepping into the path that most aligns with what you came to the planet to do. So a lot of times in our lives, we end up getting sidetracked, for lack of a better word. Sometimes it's because we decide to put time and effort into maybe starting a family or supporting a loved one or fixing something in our life. And all of those things are important, but what we see coming through in January for you in particular is a realignment. And Spirit is saying, first of all, congrats on doing what you did, but don't forget about yourself. Don't forget about some of the things that you need in order to feel happy, supported, fulfilled. Lean into being your true self. And that latter piece is also very important because sometimes we sacrifice our happiness for the love, support, or acceptance of others, and that isn't unconditional love. It's the reverse of that. So if you're ever finding that you're holding back on doing something because you don't want someone to judge you harshly, or because you think that, I don't want to shine too brightly because then maybe they'll feel like they're left out, there's room for more than one star in the sky. There's room for more than one star in your relationship, in your family, at work. Shine brightly this month. It's your birthright. It's also energetically where you're supposed to be. As we take a look here at the recent past, we have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups can represent love in your life. It can represent your friends. It can also be your family. With this card in the reverse position, it can be the pressure to meet up to their expectations. It's interesting that they chose 3 people at the center because it kind of reminds me of the Three of Cups. And in the Three of Cups, when it's reversed, sometimes it represents gossip or it represents trying to fit into a clique. So let's kind of adopt some of that with this, and then I might choose the traditional card in just a moment. Ten of Cups in reverse when it's your family. They may want you to settle down. The interesting thing with the word settle is that's kind of antithetical to what you're supposed to be doing. You don't want to settle for something less than who you are. So don't settle down. Don't settle for less. Be exactly who you need to be, and don't be afraid to stand up to friends, family, the world at large if they're trying to push you into a template or a version of your life that isn't authentic to you. Because you do deserve what's here: love, happiness, the overflowing abundance that is the Ten of Cups. Now, if we take a look at the Rider-Waite-Smith card, the first feature that really stands out is the rainbow. For some of you, this is auspicious and hopeful. If there's been a dry spell, this represents an end to that. And it's coming through now because you're ready. Not because you're being pushed, not because you're trying to settle or settle down. It's because it's what you want, and it's because it's natural and it flows into your life. The rainbow also represents diversity. And sometimes who we love or how we love is different from what our parents expect. So be it. It's your life, right? Not theirs. And it's your life, not society's. So you have to do what's right for you. And if it fits under this beautiful rainbow of inclusive energy, then good for you. Life is too finite to not be happy and to not do something that truly aligns to your heart and to your desires, okay? So love because you want to, not because you're settling or settling down. All right, in the crowning position, we have the Strength card. It is reversed. It's reminding you to take care of yourself, particularly your physical health. Yes, we can take this at face value, and when the card is reversed, sometimes it can show fatigue, burnout. It can also be just a call to action if there's any sort of family markers where, there's like blood pressure or things of that nature. You want to take better care of yourself, all right? The reverse position of this card can also indicate that for some of you, you're tired of other people being pushy. You may be deciding also that when it comes to trying to make a difference in relationships or work, school, etc., that if it's too much of a struggle, if you're constantly putting in 110% of the effort, it may be time to shift. This is what the center card is showing us with the Six of Swords. It's saying, if you're not able to move forward, there are other paths, there are other ways. The Two of Wands encourages you to look beyond whatever this potential block may be. It can be a stubborn person in your life. It can be someone who tries to exert control, influence, or simply push you in a direction that you don't want to go. And in that situation, enough is enough. I do like the peaceful pose on this Strength card because it is basically a nice refreshing change from the traditional one where someone is basically sometimes trying to even put words in your mouth. There's, again, more than one way to do things, and sometimes you just have to show them. And that actually is, I think, the big piece of advice here, which is, lead by example. And sometimes you just have to do it and ask for forgiveness later. And if it's doing something that makes you happy, you don't have to even ask for forgiveness. But sometimes people just need to see that it's possible. So here is the traditional Strength card where we see someone that is struggling to get someone to do what they said they were going to do, or sometimes struggling to get you to agree to something. The struggle shouldn't be a constant state because then this is not a sustainable card. It's much nicer when you just are looking at two strong individuals. That's what this version of Strength is showing. But the reversal of this is saying maybe whoever it is or whatever it is that's in front of you, it's still too much of a push. Relationships in particular it's like 50-50, it's work. But if it's all you or if it's constantly you, then it's time to pivot. And don't waste all your time and energy when it's not appreciated, not reciprocated, or not received. We have an Ace of Swords coming through in the near future. Again, one of the big themes this month is not looking back at the past, not worrying so much about could have, should have, or would have, and instead focusing on, I want to do this. I am doing this. Let's do this. And so this Ace of Swords is very active. And again, normally we wouldn't see an individual on this, but it's reminding you because of this that you are the one. You're the best person in your own life that can make this happen. Pick up that sword and move forward. This is a great time to write. For those of you that happen to be creative folks, put it down in writing. It doesn't matter what you write too. So I should expand this. Even if you're like in finance or business or just have a great idea, capture that idea, get it into writing. This is going to help others see it from your perspective. So I found the traditional Two of Wands. Sometimes people need to see a real life example, and that's the Two of Wands here. And if you can find a way to demonstrate it, show it, sketch it, and then hand it to them, they're going to have an easier time understanding it. The Ace of Swords typically is written, though, so there might be a way to present or summarize or show a real-life example, and that can get you to the next level. This is also a chance to sign on the dotted line, so if you're trying to get a signature or sign something, you have a good chance of getting the approval or moving it through the process in the month of January. We have two of the strongest cards here, almost like right next to each other, so you already know in the deep past that you have the Star, which is magnificent, but here representing you have the High Priestess. This card can help manifest the truth that is the Star. And the two of these together are reminding you that believing is seeing. It's not the other way around. So for all the skeptics out there that are always saying, I'll believe it whenever it comes through in the physical realm, that isn't how creativity and innovation works. Like literally, it's not how it works. You are identifying a gap. Wouldn't it be great if this could happen? I can see it. I can feel it. It should happen. So then you get to work and you creatively make it happen. That is innovation. That is how inventions spring to life. You have to imagine it first and see it here before it will ever manifest here. Believing is seeing. Do you believe? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your dream? Do you believe enough in whatever the star represents for you, your path, in order to basically accomplish it? And this card, the Two of Wands, I'm going to use the traditional one just because it helps. This is what empowers the High Priestess. It basically represents the moment in time where you decide, okay, it's not in the physical world yet, but I want to see it. I choose to create it. I choose to seek it out. So figure out what you're trying to do, and then believe that you can do it, and then look for openings. And by doing that, you're calling it in. All right, some other things with this. Your psychic abilities, your intuition, your gut instinct, it's really solid right now. Listen to it. Your creativity also is at a peak this month. So use the creative energy to create, use the intuitive energy to identify, and this card is one of leadership and empowerment. So we can see through some of this nonsense, the Strength card in reverse, which is someone trying to push you, and we can see through some of the other sort of filters that might be going on around you. Focus on what matters. Stay focused, believe, and follow through. All right, let's move on to the environment. We have the Hierophant in reverse, and this for some of you is a gatekeeper, and it's an unimaginative gatekeeper, someone who basically says, my way or the highway, or they just don't get it. We just talked at great length about believing is seeing. This person is the skeptic. They're the one that has to see it in order to believe it. This is where the Ace of Swords can come in handy. So the Ace of Swords is going to sketch it out and is going to give them a high-level sort of like picture in their head. It might even literally be a sketch. But lo and behold, the Hierophant sometimes is going to require certain things, certain hoops that you have to jump through. You get to decide, do I want to do that or do I want to go in another direction? Because the Two of Wands is always looking for a better way, for another way, for a less obstructed path. And I do think that this Hierophant isn't the only way to go. this is a very unusual Hierophant, but you can still see that she has two keys. Two keys, two paths, two options. The Hierophant sometimes only wants to see one. Now, this is in your environment, so some of you may need to reorganize things, particularly things like your files or your computer or the surroundings at home. It's not as bad as having a tower here, but it's showing an opportunity to clear the space a little bit and create some opening. And so feel free to do that if you'd like. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands coming through in Hope, Spheres, and Opportunities, ostensibly one of the best cards to just represent productivity. It's interesting that we have a little locket, almost like a timepiece around her heart, and all of this stuff going into the universe. I see this as like fulfilling your heart's desires, but there's so much going on. Don't lose track of the moment. One of the other things that came through in my dreams, I think I said it at the beginning, but if I didn't, I'm saying it. If I did, I'm reiterating it. There was a portion in the sort of nostalgic flashback where I saw someone expressing gratitude. I know I said that. So I think it could be a really good opportunity to just be grateful to the universe at large for whatever it is that you're starting to open up insofar as like abundance and opportunity. Say, thank you so much. I'm so glad this is happening now. Rather than saying, well, why has it taken so long, or beating yourself up and wishing you could have, would have, should have, just be grateful that you're turning a new leaf, that you're turning a corner. Eight of Wands. Whatever you set into motion, whatever this High Priestess starts to create, whatever this star energy starts to manifest, has the potential to go the distance. Fast moving, effective, productive. This is what this month is opening up for you. Even if it doesn't start that way, it should end on a pretty rapid moving note, and you will be happy provided that you are putting in the work, planting the seeds of intention, and continuing with this Six of Swords to move things forward each and every day. I think it's going to be a good month for you, Scorpio, okay? Let's see what the outcome card says here. So we have Nine of Cups. Lo and behold, wish fulfillment. This is what you're trying to manifest. This is the celebration, because guess what? It's coming true. Nine of Cups is an emotional card. You could find this month that you're a little bit more misty-eyed, that you're a little bit more sensitive or irritable. Completely normal when Nine of Cups makes an appearance, particularly in this closing card. So take the good and the bad in stride. You know, a really bad day does not mean that every day that month is going to be that way. The best day ever doesn't guarantee continued success. Most of life is in the middle of that. So you can almost throw out the best and the worst and say, I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm not going to let those highs or lows take my focus away from what's in front of me. Stay grounded, basically, is what this card is reminding you. But do have some fun. Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, different types of celebration. Nine of Pentacles, you worked really hard. You can afford to have fun. Nine of Cups, it's just about saying life is finite. This moment is good. Let's just revel in it. Let's not worry so much about what might or might not happen. Celebrate life's little successes. Have some fun. Make room for some joy in your life. You deserve it, okay? Let's expand this. Like I said, I'm not going to dive as deeply into this as usual because we still have the 4 quarters of the year to look at, but I also want to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. So let's do that. We'll start off with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. So we have a rune coming through here, and it's Berkana, and the meaning on this one is birth, conception, and creation. Beautifully aligned with High Priestess energy. So again, we're looking at health. For those of you trying to get pregnant, this is a great time for that because we literally have the word conception there. For those of you that are trying to create a new and better habit in your life, this is also a great time for that. Productive, fruitful, and again, the ability for something to sustain and be maintained. So one step at a time, plant those seeds of intention. And again, for those of you that might be trying to start a family, this is good. It also kind of explains what that 10 of Cups in reverse might be for some of you that are trying to get pregnant, this pressure that you might even be putting on yourself to start the family. So this is good. All right, now let's take a look at this from a larger perspective and see what other health messages are coming forth. The home and the home. A couple of times has come forth. So some of you might be deciding to move or change the living situation up a little bit. I mentioned like redecorating, feng shui, energy sort of alignment could also be something that you're focusing on. There might also be some old things in there that you don't need or want anymore. So lightening up the energy by clearing out some things could also be helpful. taking the house and home out of here. Here's what else I'm seeing. 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, a lot of cups actually. So for some of you, there may be heightened emotions like we talked about, but if it's too much, if you're feeling anxiety, depression, or something of that nature, it could be a great time. I talked about working with a coach or professional to lean on the support of like a psychologist or someone of that nature to kind of help out with that. This can also represent wanting to clear things out because we have so much sort of water, or trying to drink less for those of you that might be reducing caffeine or alcohol. Just confirming that this is a good thing. But again, you might need some support. So any way that you can get that support, this is a great time for that because this can be a support group too. Fatigue, burnout, just general lack of vitality. So making small changes in your life can make a big impact. But if the fatigue is constant or inexplicable, obviously work with a doctor in that situation. High Priestess representing self can mean that anything that you're trying to shift, I really feel like you have a chance with both a combination of traditional approaches with like Western medicine and maybe some Eastern medicine to really bring this into a beautiful trajectory, because this is fulfillment here. So whatever struggles you have, it looks like you can get through them. And I think that's pretty much everything that we need to talk about here, except the center card, Six of Swords. It might be time to change the living situation. For those of you that have been thinking of moving, I'm picking up on that. It could be good. This is the chance to look around because you might be able to find what you want, even if you're not moving immediately. It might be in a couple of months. Now let's pivot into wealth, which includes resources, life, purpose, and career. You actually got 2 cards in this particular area. One is see this from a higher perspective. The other one is you're safe here. So if you're not feeling that sense of safety, if you're not feeling grounded, it might be better to get some distance. See it from a higher perspective reminds me a lot of 8 of Cups in tarot, which is basically getting a step or 2 or 3 away from a situation in order to understand like what you need, what's triggering you. And sometimes if you're too much in the sort of like weeds, it's difficult to understand like what that next step should be. So here's the card that I was looking for. 8 of Cups, a vacation, a break, anything that's necessary to help you get to this. So rather than jumping headfirst into something, and again, we're looking at wealth, so a major shift, a major change, the first thing you should do is step back a little bit. Once you see it from a higher perspective and know what you want, know that it's okay. It's safe. It's safe to take that leap, but you need that sense that you want it, that you know that you want it, because invariably other people are going to tune into that and they'll either embrace or reject whatever it is you're trying to create based on that feeling that you already have, okay? Let's break this down into some subcategories. Again, not as deep as we would normally go because we have extra stuff to come, but sometimes it's better if we just take the highlights, and that's what we're doing today. So the highlights for those that are employed: travel. You may be asked to travel some more than usual or more often than usual, and I actually think this could open up great opportunities as long as it's something that you want to do. So travel that could allow you to level up. I think generally speaking, you have opportunities for recognition. Things are going to be pretty busy, particularly towards the latter part of the month. Yes, you might have a boss that is a little bit, what's the best word? Short-sighted, or they like things their way. But I think you have interesting methods to kind of like move around them. So the High Priestess can, in the best way possible, manipulate or just convince the Hierophant that, yeah, this is the greatest idea ever. So use your charms, use your skills, and I think you can get through this pretty well, okay? Don't do something just because you're pressured. Do it because you believe it. Push back if something is legitimately wrong or doesn't feel right. And it's your turn to shine. If you've been muting your light or trying to kind of stay in the background, don't, because I see an opportunity to level up. Entrepreneurs, in this particular moment in time, communicating openly and frequently with your clients, with your staff, just in general is important. Do you have a good social media person? Are you the social media person? Make sure that you're posting daily if possible. This Ace of Swords is going to help you connect your vision to all of the sort of like hungry fans and customers out there that want to understand what's going on. I feel like you might be micromanaging just a little bit or taking on more than you need to if you're not micromanaging. So delegate. Allow yourself to get the big vision, that sort of like perspective that's coming through here in the Eight of Cups. Because if you don't, you might miss an opportunity. It feels like right now you might need a middle manager or someone in operations or HR, someone to help take out some of the day-to-day stuff that is just time-consuming and tedious. And if you do that, I feel like you're going to be very happy with where you can put your time, energy, etc. And your creativity is shining through loud and clear with the Star and the High Priestess. By the way, the Star, people want to see more of you and more from you. So make sure that you're putting a little bit of yourself into, the marketing, etc. Okay. Job seekers, can you find something? Yes. And legitimately at the center with the Six of Swords, we're looking at distance as being a component. Maybe you're working remotely. Maybe you're saying, I would like to relocate, go to a different state, city, country, or province. This is one time where it's like front and center, almost smacking us over the third eye. The other thing is there's more than one option. So we have 2 keys in the Hierophant, 2 wands at the center. You might be juggling with 2 opportunities. The one that's in front of me right here is saying travel or moving is required. The other one that's on this side shows me that there might be a more traditional structure. So a little more corporate, a little less room to express your creativity. I kind of like the one that requires moving or travel. This one might be a little bit more difficult, but just suss it out, sort out what you're willing to put up with when it comes to hierarchy and corporate sort of stuff. And if you're willing to play that game, it might work as well. You have multiple options in front of you. Choose the one that feels best to you in a heart space. If you feel passionate about it, go for it, okay? Looking onward now, students. Six of Swords can mean so many different things for students. Some of you are thinking, what can I do in the world? How can I do something that's going to reach further than where I'm at? For those of you that are writers, this is a great way to, travel across the world with your message. Even if you can't travel, you send it out, publish it, and all of a sudden everybody's kind of connected to it. So I get this larger yearning question, which is how can I reach the largest amount of people? It's through your communication. So maybe you'll take additional communication classes. Some of you might be saying, I want to have an experience abroad, or I want something that broadens my experience with the world in general. So it could be an internship locally, or it could be traveling abroad. We see distance and worldly energy in your general spread. So make sure that you're creating some variety also in your electives, for instance. I think that's important. Don't overwork yourself right now. Strength in reverse can show a little bit of fatigue. Hierophant in reverse, really strict teacher. It may just be a single class right now. I do think you're going to be able to manage this, but I'm just validating that one of these teachers is a little annoying. So take your time. Choose your words wisely and know that you're going to be able to get through it. It just feels like it's a small speed bump in an otherwise very good spread. But that Six of Swords is like looking at distant shores. What can I do? What's next? You're looking way into the distance. This is a good time to plan. Talk to people that are already in the industry. Talk to your advisor. Talk to other students, recent graduates. Do your research, and this can help you make really smart decisions moving forward. Retirees, travel. Planning travel way ahead, 1 to 2 years in advance, possibly to create like a better budget and to save some money. Also because it gives you something to look forward to. What else is coming through? Focusing on your physical health a little bit more. Making sure that you have the strength and the wherewithal to enjoy some of these plans that you're making. Also, not being too rigid in how you can approach life in general right now. It's really important to have some fun, to hang out with some younger people, to also just really make sure that you're talking. Communication, like being able to share your thoughts and feelings, is something that's so important. And I think we kind of have an epidemic right now where people aren't able to do that. So make sure that you have some people to talk to and you're growing your social spheres. All right, let's move on to the next section, which is love and relationships. All right, in the energy of love, we have something that is essential here, respect. The bison and buffalo energy coming forth. But respect is so interesting because it's something that isn't guaranteed. It's earned over time. But that being said, if you feel like someone in your life consistently disrespects you or doesn't hold you on the same level that you hold them, then this is something that you're going to focus on right now. respect yourself enough to walk away from those situations. Respect yourself, respect others, and really hold space for that reciprocity. If it doesn't exist, if it's not reciprocated, then you deserve greater than what you're receiving. All right, now let's take a look at this from a few perspectives. If you're in an existing relationship, here's what I like about it. In the deep past, we have the star. The star represents the closest that I would come in a reading to say like a twin flame. I like twin stars instead, because if you look at twin stars in outer space binary systems, they can be different sizes, they can be different colors, different frequencies, and they just sit there and shine brightly. And I love that sort of metaphor. So you're finding someone who isn't trying to change who you are. They're shining however they want to. You're shining however you want to. And the two of you are in this cosmic dance. So it feels like you met someone that you have a lot of love and respect for. The challenge in existing relationships is this. Maybe there's pressure to get engaged or married before you're ready, or start a family before you're ready. Just make sure you're on the same page. That's a really important thing. Respect one another's wishes on that. There may be a distance component, like long distance. You're in different cities, or one of the partners travels a lot, and make plans together. You can navigate, you can bridge this. What does it require? Communication on a daily basis, open and honest communication. I see two very strong energies here. The Strength card likes to get their way. The Hierophant is sort of like the same energy, my way or the highway. There has to be compromise. Connecting that is the Ace of Swords. You've got to talk and speak from the heart. I do think that there can be a happy ending to this. There's just some distance challenges, like, again, time, location, traveling, and stubbornness. And if you can get through those things, I think you're going to be okay, because there's a lot of love coming forth. Could be an Aquarius energy here too. All right, for those that are single and looking, can you find someone? Yes. There are many options in front of us here. Like I said, there might be someone that you're already dating, but different time zone, different city, state, country, or province. There's someone here that's super traditional. There's someone here that really knows who they are and they like to kind of be bossy. What are you looking for? Because I see a kind of cornucopia of options. So if you're single and looking, there's an opportunity to be discerning and a little bit more clear with the universe, not so much with me, but the universe, like what it is you're trying to call in. I always keep it real. Are you ready? I think you are. I think the only thing that could be a little challenging right now is the Center card. If you're on the go, if you're trying to set a lot of things into motion, which you're going to succeed at, make sure that one of those things is making time for health and relationships, okay? If you're single and happy, good for you. This is a fantastic month. Manifestation energy coming through loud and clear. The ability, again, to reach a larger audience if you're trying to do that. New ideas coming through, creativity, imagination. All of that is coming forth, but a little disorganization and a little bit of fatigue. Rest up, don't overthink, create a schedule and stick to it. And if you do that, what a productive month awaits you, and a chance to accomplish more than one, at least a couple of the bucket list items that you might have set out for in the new year. All right, let's get to Destiny, and then we'll go to the quarterly forecast. Metatron is coming through here in Destiny, which is very auspicious. Heaven to earth. Your current situation is in alignment with your mission on earth. So Metatron is reversed, but the star is in the upright position. Metatron uses a star, the Merkaba, and so it's really just saying, don't doubt yourself. Lean into what you already know, and it's going to happen. The High Priestess is also kind of reiterating that. If you believe it, if you kind of sit in the energy of what it is you're trying to create, the door opens like that. So just really think to yourself, instead of, I want to find love, I am love. I want to find money. I am abundance. I want to be healthier. I am health personified. Just create the I am plus what it is that you're trying to do, and take out the trying to or want to. Just I am and what it is that you want. Okay? Let's expand this to the quarterly forecast. We're going to pull 4 cards for the 4 sections of the year, and then we'll break it down. Quarter 1. Quarter 2, 3, and 4. Let's begin with Q1, January, February, and March. All right, we have the Empress, but the card is reversed. So, themes of power and empowerment coming forth in this first quarter. people may come to you and double check and say, are you sure you want to do that? Or they may ask you to step into a position of leadership or power, and you think to yourself, can I do it? Yes, you can. The important thing here is to work on confidence, to ground yourself in the plan, to stay consistent, and that consistency and confidence is going to help you accomplish and go the distance. If someone tries to push you, much like we saw with the Strength card, into doing something that isn't in alignment with what we saw that you already know with the Star, you push right back. The Emperor stands up for his or herself and says, no. No because this, and this. No because it's not right, or just no. The older I get, the more I am okay with saying no and holding people to account. I recently had a situation where someone was trying to get me to move into a place that wasn't ready. And I simply said, it's not ready. You misrepresented. This isn't right. There's safety issues. I'm not moving. And I kept pushing until I was able to avert something. I've moved into enough places that I didn't like, where I was like, no, I can see the signs. I can read the signs. No. And I held firm to my no, and things worked out. You have to sometimes go through experiences in your life where you don't say no and you wish you did. This time around, stand up for what really matters for you. You will not regret speaking your mind and holding your ground when appropriate, especially when you have the facts, figures, and information to back it up. Defend your dreams. If there's something that you want, stand up for it, okay? So this is the first quarter. The challenge here is just to lean into your power. But once you find it, once you find your voice, trust me, you probably have a hard time being quiet then, because it feels very good to know you did that. You opened up a path in front of you. But do have the information, the data, etc., to back up whatever your claims are. And as long as you do that, I feel like you're going to have a surprisingly fulfilling and empowering first quarter because you found your voice. Quarter number 2, April, May, and June. This is where you can take a bit of a break here. We have the Four of Swords. It's in the upright position. It reminds you that without rest, without recalibration, we just burn out. This can also represent just a little bit of a plateau. So there was a lot of energy going into yourself, into your projects, planting all those seeds, and then we give things time to germinate. In fact, instead of a Victrola in the background, it's kind of like almost reminded me of like a morning glory. But give things time to grow. Give things time to germinate. Give yourself time and space to recalibrate. This is also a card that is connected with, for some of you, just letting go. So if there's something that you've been working on for a long time, this is a chance to release it and to just give yourself a little more space in your schedule, because this is a chance for you also to dream, plan, and figure out what's next. And sometimes that only comes when we give ourselves a little bit of downtime. So as we look here at April, May, and June, don't put so much into your schedule. Create some space, let things go. Don't panic if it's not constant go, go, go energy. It's basically things starting to take root. And this brings us into the third quarter of the year, July, August, and September. Now we have Queen of Swords. She is great at creating action. So you're basically recharged, reinvigorated, and ready to sort of like really make things happen in this quarter of the year. Use your voice, take action on the plans, help people see it from your perspective. Very interesting that we have her using her palms to kind of like show people things. So there's a demonstrative energy to this that you would normally see in like Queen of Wands. So because of that, you're probably going to be expected to both show and tell, walk the walk and talk the talk. Overall, very exciting energy. One thing that I do like with Queen of Swords is she also doesn't mince her words. If something needs to be said or done, she just does it. So there you go. Finally, looking at October, November, and December, now we have the 10 of Wands, completion. This is a chance to take something to the finish line. With this, don't forget why you've worked so hard to get to this point. Sometimes a little fatigue sets in with the 10 of Wands. So, lean on the support of others, delegate as needed, but do finish what you've started. This is connected with traveling, so there may be an opportunity to do a little bit of traveling. It's also about distribution. And ultimately, I feel very, very positive about the final quarter of the year for you. The main thing here is not getting burned out. So that resting period that was in the second quarter is going to pay off for the rest of the year, because this portion is going to be busy right up until New Year's. So take your time. Well, take your time when you can, but really just make sure that you're pacing yourself so that you can go through what looks like it's going to be a long distance run with a lot of energy, opportunity, and kind of like fireworks. I feel like this is going to be an exciting part for you. Now, the only thing that you want to be mindful of is the pressure that you put yourself through, like you put on yourself, and that others might be projecting out towards you. Take things in stride and don't try to be a perfectionist. You're doing great, okay? Finally, let's look at the last question here. If there's one thing that I haven't answered yet, this is your chance to ask that final question. Go ahead and formulate it. I'm going to shuffle the cards with the remaining space that I have, and we'll see what your guides have to say. Okay, we have another management, control, leadership card here, the Chariot, but in reverse. As a yes or no, here's what I see. Yes, but be willing to take the rein, and the reins, I should say, or the wheel, and go with it. Someone really is going to say, you can do it as long as you're willing to do the work. So be careful what you ask for, and if you're ready and willing to do it, then absolutely go for it. If you're not, then they may call you on your bluff on that. The other thing is, someone is probably going to ask you why, or are you sure, or can you show me how this can be done? Because this is a person that comes through and wants to make sure that you can steer the ship, and also wants to make sure that their trust is being placed in the right place. So that kind of like tendency here with the Strength card reversed to micromanage could be coming forth. So they just need reassurance. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I want this. Yes, let's do this. So as long as you can really lean in and articulate that yes, I feel like you're ready for that. Okay? That, my friends, is everything. If you enjoyed this video, why not like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know what really resonated, and keep me posted as this goes through the year. You can come back and bookmark this video. There'll be time markers for all of this. I'd love to see how it's kind of factoring into the year ahead. Don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms. My name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, is the username on just about every account. You can always go to my website for more information and to follow me there. You can give back by giving a sticker here or becoming a member. You can also show support through PayPal if you'd like to. And if you haven't already followed me on my newsletter, I'll find a graphic next time, but just go to my website, go up to social media, and the newsletter link is listed there as well. I'd love to have you on my newsletter. All right, that brings us to a close today. Thank you so much for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. I appreciate your love and support. Check out my monthly, weekly, and daily videos, all on my main channel page. Until I see you next time, be well.